Good morning, kindergarten. Here we are on Friday, May 15th. Let's get started with the pledge, and then we're going to dive right into our poem. And this morning, the first poem we're going to review is a reading strategy poem about if you're reading and get stuck. So let's say the pledge, then we'll do this poem review, and then head into all of our work. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And here it is. And this poem, let's take a peek and see. Can you see all the things we have circled in it? It's easy to see what we were focusing on. Blends and digraphs again, right? When two letters work together, there they were. And then our poem was all about what we do if we hit a tricky word, and all of our verses are down here. So of course our first verse is we check the picture. Then we what? B-E. We sound it out. And our last strategy is if we're just super stuck and we can't figure it out, we ask a friend, right? So let's start this with the first verse doing crossovers. The second verse, sound it out, stand on one leg and balance. And the third verse, ask a friend, switch legs and we'll stand on the other leg and balance. All right, so get ready to work and get those brains and bodies going together. If you're reading and get stuck. If you're reading and get stuck, check the picture. If you're reading and get stuck, check the picture. If you're reading and get stuck, that's the one thing you can try. If you're reading and get stuck, check the picture. All right, balance on one foot and let's do it with sound it out. If you're reading and get stuck, sound it out. If you're reading and get stuck, sound it out. If you're reading and get stuck, that's the one thing you can try. If you're reading and get stuck, sound it out. All right, switch legs, everybody. Balance on the next leg for ask a friend. If you're reading and get stuck, ask a friend. If you're reading and get stuck, ask a friend. If you're reading and get stuck, that's the one thing you can try. If you're reading and get stuck, ask a friend. And those are strategies that we don't want to just think about when we're reviewing the poem. We want to use those strategies in all of the reading that we're doing. And let's talk about that for 1 second. You have your reading response journal. I hope you're doing some work in that from either the stories Mrs. Oberg's been reading or any story you read. And remember, if you're writing about things from the story, use the strategies to sound words out in our writing also, right? Reading and writing work together to make us stronger. And our last thing today I wanted to show you is going to be this little plant cycle, life cycle book that I put in your bags. This is the perfect little book that we can use these strategies on, because there might be some words in here that are tricky words that we really have to sound it out, think about what we know about words, and what makes sense from what you have heard Mrs. Oberg read to you about seeds in a story, and it's just the experiences you have. I know lots of you have been planting things at home. So when you read through this little book, The Plant Life Cycle, which just like the butterfly life cycle, starts all the way in a circle and makes a complete cycle of life, from seed back to seed. So, enjoy this book and use those strategies. And then today, we need a drum roll. We are going to head into our handwriting workbook, and we're going to the end of the alphabet, sliding down, to the end of the alphabet, sliding down, to the end of the alphabet. Oh no, it's upside down. Z slides down, Z slides up, sliding down with letters Z. There we are, boys and girls, at the end of the alphabet. So Mrs. Oberg wants to talk about 2 tricky letters. The last 2 letters of the alphabet can be tricksters, but we just need to think about what we know and where we always use our handwriting work pieces. So with letter Y, we know we do little line for uppercase, we lift off, and then we slide a big line. So we start in smile corner, and we go little line, lift off, slide to the bottom. Little line, lift off, slide to the bottom. And little y is a basement letter. So we do little line, lift off, slide in the basement. Little line, lift off, slide to the basement. So, letter Y words. Of course, we have a color word, yellow. You may have other words that you know, or find people's names from our class that have a Y in them and write them on there, and you'll be able to see the Y, and it works out too. Now, letter Z is one of those guys that sometimes we can make backwards. And Mrs. Oberg apologizes. I put your page in your book backwards. At least in mine it is. So letter Z, we just have to remember the very first thing we learned about letters is smile corner. And even though it's not a smile anymore, we know smile corner is always right here. And our letters start there. Almost every single letter starts there, and every single number. So we will do our little line, slide, little line. Little line, slide, little line. Now, we don't need to make smile corner anymore, and we just need to think it in our brain, okay? And then our lowercase z is the same. Little line, slide, little line. Little line, slide, little line. So, do your best, and woohoo! This is the end of our alphabet review book. And if you saved it till summer, you can always come back and watch these videos and remember all of the different songs we learned for our letters, and think about all those different strokes to make and our alphabet pieces. So, great job, kindergarten. And now we have our last review poem for today. And I know you will know instantly what we were thinking and doing when we were reviewing this poem. Good old Dr. Seuss and all of his crazy characters. So, the most important thing Dr. Seuss talks to us about always is rhyming. He is the king of rhyme. He helps us to learn words by nonsense words and by figuring out, well, what rhymes with it? Because most of his writing always has rhymes. And think back to our kindergarten year. Do you remember when we had our fun Dr. Seuss week? And we had a hat day with Dr. Seuss hats, with hats you wore from home. We built with cups and paper plates and tried to build Dr. Seuss hats. We had a crazy sock day. We counted by 2 all of our feet. We had Wacky Wednesday, where we dressed wacky. We didn't want to get out of bed one day. We left our pajamas on, And of course, we celebrated green eggs and ham by making green eggs and ham and tasting green eggs and ham. So fun to remember all of those memories of kindergarten. All right, let's do crossovers again. Get those arms up, and I will read. I will read on a boat. I will read with a goat. I will read on a train. I will read in the rain. I will read with a fox. I will read in a box. I will read with a mouse. I will read in a house. I will read here or there. I will read anywhere. Now I hope that's what you're doing. You are reading anywhere. You're even reading outside, or you're reading in a fort, or you're reading in a car. I want you to love to read anytime, anywhere. All right, keep rocking all of that. And now, of course, we're going to take care of our math today. We're going to play any game you want. You've got lots of math games at home. You have math games of your own. Play a math game, any game you want, okay? And then we're going to take a peek at our little journal. So today, you have to find missing numbers. So do the counting and figure out the missing box. 22, 23, you got it, 24. Keep going all the way and fill in all the missing numbers. And then the next job we have, Mrs. Oberg has to teach something to you because we didn't get to do this together in kindergarten, and it's a fun, important kindergarten strategy for math. And it's my math machine. And in your little booklet, it's a little robot machine, and it's called a function machine. And a function means it does something. So this function machine today says +2. So what happens is we put numbers in, and it does its work inside here, +2. So whatever number we go in, we add 2 to it, and then out comes a new number. So boys and girls, on your function machine, it says we're going to input or put in a 1. And then it says the rule was +2, so I already have my function in there. So we have to go 1, and then it goes into the machine, mixes up. We have to add 2 to it. 1. What number is going to come out of my machine? 3. So I put 1 in, it does its work. The output is 3. So you're going to do that for all of the rest of these boxes, and you get to decide what you're going to put in the machine. But here's the rule. This number can't be more than 5. Okay? Your input can't be higher than 5. And then add your 2 to it, and what's going to come out. And that is our math work today. So your function is going to stay at +2, and this number can't be any more than 5. It can be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. And then that's it for our math work. And our fun job that we started yesterday with our friend Leo, the late bloomer. Well, I know you have this booklet. And yesterday we did our name work. We looked at our first day of kindergarten picture. And now today we're going to do our first page about a little sentence we need to add. So it says, I couldn't draw a picture. And you really could draw some kind of a picture, but just like those self-portraits you make, is your writing and picture drawing really coming along with great details and lots of awesome Mapman people and just all the things we talked about and learned. So even at the beginning of kindergarten, you could make a picture, but now you're going to really knock it out of the park with lots of fun details. So we need to write our little sentence here. It said, I couldn't do it, but now we're going to write 3 words for our sentence. We're going to write now, big frog jump, capital N. Now, I is always a capital word. I can, a snap word. So you write now I can on your sentence and draw your very best picture. Anything you want. It can be a picture of a race car. It can be a picture of a horse. It can be a picture of anything you want. Do your best quality work. And then the next page we're going to do today is about the letters. And in your book, you'll see a beginning of the year letter writing sample too. And you might giggle a little and say, oh my goodness, I didn't even know how to write all those letters. But now I can. And so you write now I can, and then write your letters up here. You can just do an uppercase, or if you want to write the uppercase and the lowercase, that's up to you. Doesn't matter. You might want to just do one or the other, but you can also do both. So those are the 2 pages today that you need to finish up. And the last thing I want to talk about is your plant journal. I am hoping that some of you have those planted and hanging in your windows. Don't forget to be recording at least a couple times a week in your plant journal. Make sure you write the date. Science writers, so we're writing what we see. And what you see should have some description with your words. So make sure you're adding your words and not just drawing your picture. And send me some pictures. I want to see how those seed sprout houses are coming along. All right, have a great weekend, everyone. We'll see you back here on Monday.